G'day guys, and welcome to another episode. We've got something pretty different, something pretty exciting, pretty cool today. If you are sort of a regular viewer of the channel, you're probably looking at us going, what the hell is this? Like, what have you done? If you're a bit of an OG follower from the start, this might look pretty familiar. So just bringing this here, setting us how many memories has this brought back?
So back in 2000, if you remember, if you were a follower from the start, back in 2019, we did a 3-month trip up the East Coast, and we lived in this for 3 months.
This is what we did. This is what made us fall in love with. We loved caravan and camping, but this is when we did this first 3 months trip. We're like, all right, this is going to be cool. Then we're like, all right, let's go back to work. Let's you know go again in 2 years' time or something. But when we did this, we're like, this is it. This is it. I don't know how it's going to happen, but we are going to end up traveling full time
in a caravan.
That's literally what
we never thought that we would enjoy caravanning or being in a caravan as much as
this much. So this is literally where it all sort of started. This is what made us fall in love with the Lotus brand itself. Again, we're going to run through some features here, and I guess the main sort of the reason behind the video here is like, obviously, from the channel now, we got a new 2022 Trooper, fully off-road. Absolutely amazing, but I guess what I want to show you guys is kind of sort of where this isn't where we started, but like kind of again how we sort of
that's where our caravan journey started.
Yeah, sort of gone into that. So we've started off in I started off in a Toyota Hire swag with a mattress next to my dirt bike back before the Mikayla days, when we had swag, tent, motorbike trailer with a mattress in the back, dad's camper.
The only thing that we never had was a rooftop tent.
Yeah, we didn't have a rooftop tent.
We skipped the rooftop tent.
Yeah, I know. But the rooftop tent's luxury. We're on the friggin' ground.
Yeah,
so
in the swag.
And then we had Dad's camper trailer behind my SS Ute.
Yes.
And then from there, then we had this is a 2012 model Lotus Sprint. So
limited edition.
Limited edition. So again, it's just crazy to see. We've got them both parked up here, just looking at the differences, the ground height. This is a semi off-road caravan, so it's pretty crazy to sort of see the difference. But this is our first caravan. This is what got us hooked on caravans. Just being here today, the smell, everything. We haven't been. This is at the mum and dad's house here, so we haven't seen this thing in ages. This is something we want to do for a while. We put it out there on the social media, like 700 people. I put it out there like, let's look through it, let's check it out. So we want to sort it out. So I guess we want to sort of crush straight away is, again, like, do you need to spend 100, 120, 150, 220, like, again, expensive, $100,000 on a fully off-road caravan to get out and do, your Cape, your Gib, your Fraser, or just getting out and traveling, doing a lap? And look, to me, the answer is obviously it's going to be way more comfy, luxurious, the off-road suspension, so maybe the ride, depending what brand of caravan and how sort of, what that setup is. Obviously, that's sort of going to, you got to be considerate of what you sort of going to push it through, your height limits, ground clearance. That's going to be sort of your biggest kill. I know there's quite a few that are getting really old, like 1980s and renovating.
And doing them up.
Yeah, probably just stick to the highway with those ones. Yeah. But there's plenty of options out there from maybe your 40 to 60,000, 70,000 top sort of thing. A lot of, even your older model stuff, they can sort of pick up semi off-road, all that. So again, so the answer to that question is, do you need that massive high expensive gear to do it? No, absolutely not. So don't feel like that's what you need. Plenty of secondhand caravans around there, plenty of options. Just whatever your setup is, that's our biggest thing, is just
as long as you're getting out there, traveling. That's all that matters.
As long as it's safe, and you're not going to take a bucket of crap and just not serve and just get stuck somewhere. Obviously, it might need a bit more loving, a bit more servicing. But what we're going to do today, we're going to do a bit of a walk around, sort of show you guys around. There's a couple of specs. I'm not going to go massively into it. We might sort of compare a few things along the way, but it's just getting really cool. Check this out. We're going to go deep into the hard drives to get pull up some old footage, see what we got from back there. All right, let's get into it. Rightio, let's get into it. Let's have a little bit of a walk around. So let's start off with a couple of specs. This is 2100 kilos tower, and you can load this thing up to 2500 kilos, so 2.5 tons. So about that 400 kilos. So look, not a massive payload. Again, this is where you're going to sort of suffer on, again, yeah, the beefed up suspension and all that stuff. But 400 kilos is pretty good. Water, gear, all that stuff. I can't remember. This is ages ago since we got out in this thing. But we probably would have been, we carried a generator, some stuff, but I reckon we probably would have been about that 2.5, maybe a touch under. So 150 kilo ball weight, spot on. This thing tows. It tows amazing. This is where Lotus really nailed this from back here, and even in the early days. This is what they're really good at, is just getting these vans. They just tow so freaking good. So at the front here, this is actually a bit of a custom one. I think we damaged the old plastic doors that are on here, so we got these made from Outback Trays here in Mildura, local company. Got our tunnel bit in there, pretty messy at the moment. Old man's just got some gear set up in there, but yeah, this is really good. Really good latches, really good setup there. This is what we had up for the Cape, fully sealed and all that stuff. So if you do have a 2012 Lotus Sprint at home, we actually pulled some of the stickers off. I think I had a couple more decals above here, a couple of older colors and that. We got rid of that, just trying to thinking we were cool back then. We were a bit younger, and I just made it look a little bit sleeker. So again, of course, you got your older style paneling. Not many people out there use this these days. Some do, but it's so different to your composite paneling now. I think that's what really makes the vans look so new and modern now. But again, I still think there's the white and the black. It still looks pretty sick. So obviously got your Dometic awning on here. I think this is the same size as the one that's on our Trooper. We've got an awning on here, which is cool. Last time we filmed a rundown, went over the friggin' roof. There's literally not 1 ounce of wind here at the moment. We're in Victoria, so I'm not going to be expecting any big gusts of wind coming through. So I guess moving on, again, your nice big windows. Door, nothing too flash about this door. I'm trying to think before, this doesn't have a Dometic dust reduction, no dust reduction system on this thing. So from memory, again, it's been, I think 2019 is when we last did this Cape York trip. I reckon we put an air-filled little bit of foam over the vent down there in the door, and I reckon we maybe had I reckon we pulled up, I reckon we were wiping a little bit of stuff off the bench, but we never, from memory, we never had any dust issues or whatever with this, and that's of no dust reduction, no Caravan, all the fancy luxuries that we have these days. So onto this, and some more mods we did. Again, we're trying to make this look a little bit cool. We put some little bit bigger tire size on there, so we got a 245 70 16, that is a 16, so they're the ROH Patriot rims. Again, we sort of want to make it just look a little bit cooler. These do come with the general grabber tires, which is still got that one on the back, just as a spare there. So just makes it look a little bit cooler. Again, back then, if you're trying to lift it up, it probably lifted 5 or 10 mil, absolute bugger all, but trying to get things off the ground just a little bit. Again, fold out table here, a little bit of an older design there, got the key locks and that. Again, outdoor lighting. I guess there's a lot of stuff that sort of looks so much more modern and that these days, but same sort of thing. We've got our 240 volt outlet out here. We're plugged into power here at the moment. Got the aircon that going here. It's 30 degrees here today, Mildura. Easter time, absolutely beautiful day, but again, the logos and that here looks pretty cool. This thing's gone quite a fair way, and I think it's still in pretty good nick. So that's pretty much it for this side. Let's go around the other side. All right, moving around to the back here, nothing too much here, but one thing I want to point out, after 10 years, this thing has just been sitting in sun, really kind of been in garage, always been out in the weather there. The stickers on this thing are still mint, absolutely awesome condition. Again, the weather this thing has seen is absolutely crazy. So on the back here, just that bumper bar, got the spare wheel in there. Again, the old general grabber tires is what these things used to come with. So again, a lot of your weight savings, people sort of some days, these days are kind of like, your off-road vans are so heavy now. This, but they want everything. These days, again, ATX suspension, the bigger construction, your big galvanized chassis, bigger battery systems, wood cages on the back, bigger, it's all weight. It is all weight. So this is what you don't get on these things, which again, come down to your towing vehicle, dual cab utes and stuff like that. Around that 2.5, 3 ton towing is kind of where, with your GCM limits, is going to be your happy level. Let's take a look underneath here. We've got 2 water tanks on here. From memory, I'm going to say they're 95 litre tanks. So we've got 2 tanks under there. Not a massive amount of protection under there. Again, this is something you're going to really gain on your fully off-road caravans. Now under here, we've got leaf springs. So this is something, you know, you don't really see much these days on Caravan. So the good old leaf spring setup. So pros and cons to this. Like, again, if you sort of way out in the outback there, you break a leaf spring, there's going to be something laying around. There's always a leaf spring somewhere on a old damaged vehicle. You pull up at a mechanic's. There's, you know, it is going to be an easy fix. You can tie wire the freaking thing up. Like, you know, there is a lot of sort of benefits to that leaf spring. So again, this thing rides absolutely beautiful. It does sit pretty low. I know people can sort of like, you can flip the leaf springs around to lift trails up, and it's not ideal, but you can sort of do that stuff. But the good old leaf spring setup never causes an issue. So, but again, going to your new shocks, you know, like your Cruisemaster ATX, big airbag suspension, your remote res shocks, awesome, just a totally different appreciation out on these roads. But again, this girl has gone out there and done it all on the good old leaf spring. So that's pretty much it on the rear here. I guess we're sort of walking down again. There's nothing crazy along here. I do apologize, I've got the sun smashing in my eyes at the moment. Again, taller door here. We broke a latch on here. I think the old man accidentally threw the keys away, so we had to end up pulling that off. Jigged up our old little thing there. We put a padlock on it so no one steals the toilet. So moving along, again, not much along here. So ventilation, rims and tires. Other side, 240 inlet there. Again, run this thing off aircon at the moment. Nothing too exciting. So drum brakes under here. Again, still a lot of people are using drum brakes these days. Nothing wrong with that. We sort of found after the Cape York and that, a lot of crossings, a lot of red dirt, dust. This is kind of where I find drum brakes can be at a disadvantage. Still work good, you know, they can be pretty grabby depending if they're hot, cold, but you get a lot of stuff caught in there, like again, dust, water, which is going to wear, make noises. You can have water sitting there and you just don't know, and it is quite a, you know, it's nothing major to pull them off and clean it on that, but it's a filthy job. For me, the last thing you want to be doing while you're on holidays. But again, the system works. We replaced the pads in this not long ago. Again, it works, but when you look at comparing the disc brakes and that, again, it's on a whole new level. But again, more weight, more money. But yeah, going along here, I guess the main difference here, old style, your hot water system. So pretty much, you know, whoever's having a shower first, the next person's going to be pissed off at the person who was in the shower first. So these days you got your continuous hot water, your garage systems and that. So you pretty much just, you can wash your hair and you just got hot water for days. This is sort of got, not sure how, I can't remember how big the tank is in here. Again, you can have, you know, I don't know how much it is, 50, 100 litres of hot water. Once that runs out, you have to just let it go, fill back up again. So a little bit of an old school system there, but again, it still works until you experience the new stuff. You know, you wouldn't even notice. So coming along, that's sort of pretty much it. If we come around the front here, one thing that we did on the front is we put a Cruisemaster DO35 hitch on here. So again, your biggest thing these days, if you're a fully on-road van or semi-off-road, is going to come with a tow ball. Crap, just get rid of it. It works. If you just stay on the highway, it's cool. But as soon as you put one of these on, even on the highway, you notice the difference. It's not, they're obviously an off-road hitch. On the highway, you notice the difference, even especially what car you've got. Again, when you've got your tow ball, if you're sort of going on a bit of a bumpy road, you're going to get that feedback from the Caravan. If the Caravan's bouncing, because it's coupled onto that ball, it's going to be bouncing up and down as well. So with the Cruisemaster hitch, again, just even on the highway, the car's going to do its thing. It's going to rotate here. Your van's going to do it does its own thing. So it just takes all that feedback out of the car on the highway as well. But again, going up to Cape York and that stuff, my biggest worry with the tow ball is you can still do a lot with them, but when you're doing that big sort of articulation of, you know, going over ridges and that, my biggest fear is just that ball. Like when you look at it, it's this tiny little clip holding it on there. If that comes off, it's not going to be pretty at all. So chucked one of them on there. So pretty much all we did was the DO35, the all-terrain tires and the rims. That's all we did to make this to go up and do it to the top of Cape York. So again, it's just a corrugated road, but it can be done. I think we're down to probably would have been 20-25 psi back then. Not the tire pressures have changed much back then, but I think that's roughly what would have ran. I think we blew a fuse, a little 12-volt fuse, 10 amp fuse, replaced that. That's the only issue we had taking this thing to the top of Australia. So again, just our gas bottles in the front, nothing special there. A little bit of a wood cage thing in the front here, actually. There's a little bit of a cage down there. We can sort of get in and put some stuff there, which is handy. This has got the front window on here, which we don't have this on the new van. Obviously, it's something you can still do. Do kind of miss that sometimes. Like we used to have that open when we're at beaches or something, getting that breeze in. You can look out at the beach depending which way your van's sort of parked up. But yeah, that's pretty cool. It's sort of copped a little bit of damage along the front here, a little bit faded. It's slowly starting to get there. Up on the roof, we've got one solar panel. So we did this trip with one solar panel. We've now got 5 on the roof. So then this actually isn't even hooked up at the moment. So I think actually, from memory, when we did this trip, didn't even know, but the solar panel wasn't even working. That's how bad we were back then. We thought the solar panel was working, but it wasn't. So we actually did a trip 3 months with no solar. So we actually had a SP Tools 3.3 or 3.2 kVA, 3.3 kVA generator. So we actually sat that in between the lounge inside. Pain in the ass, every time I had to pull it out. I have a 10-litre fuel tank. I think it weighed like 50 kilos. But if you are looking for a generator, you don't really care about noise, size, weight, whatever, that was really good. It was quieter than the Honda ones, ticked away there. Back then we did use that pretty good, but I kind of feel like now gone are the days of having to use your generator. But that's what we did for power back then. We're going to go inside there. We've got 2 100 amp AGM batteries. Again, AGMs are sort of a thing of the past as well, but just shows that this is what you can get out and do such a easy, simple setup. All right, welcome to the inside. I think the first thing you notice is that Ibis air conditioner. So it doesn't even have a number. It says Ibis, which is the air command.
Must be like
the
first one.
Yeah, one of the OGs. So it works a treat. Like it works,
so cool
still works
here.
really good. But bigger unit, and it's quite loud. So if you can hear it there, I do apologise. But I think another thing we notice is just so much. It feels big.
It's the opposite to our van in here.
Yeah,
and
opposite
obviously in here is a traditional island bed.
Yeah, island bed.
In the centre.
The cafe lounge, which we're going to look at in a minute, but it does just feel really spacious in here. So again, behind us here, Mikayla's actually put our bedding down from our van to make it look a little bit nicer. Another thing I just noticed being in here is the Sirocco fans. They've rarely changed.
Oh my god, they haven't.
They have rarely changed at all. So they
look the exact same.
They still look the same. So we got 2 fans in here. Again, perfect position in here. Like I said, we used to be out there camping, generator on, whatever.
So
one of those pain in the ass people with the generators, and just having the aircon here. Really, really nice in here. It's 30 degrees outside today.
So nice in here.
Really, really nice in here. So again, we got under bed storage under here. A lot of space under there. No trim gas heaters and stuff which go under there. That's one thing I do remember when we were used to traveling.
We had to
cold.
We had to plug in the generator one morning
Cold.
at a free camp.
Yeah.
To turn the heater on.
But that was like the lake we were near was like frozen. Like it was really cold, and I think probably shouldn't even say this, but I think our way of heating ourselves up in the morning was like we used to put like some water, like boil some water and just have it boiling so we could have some
well, you'd make a coffee.
Going.
You'd make a coffee with the
You just leave it
water.
going. Like, it was that's how we'd sort of warm ourselves up around that again. Yeah, obviously not
There's a clear
overnight
sticker that
or
says do not use this for heating
for a long time or anything. But that was that short-term thing in the morning to get warm. So
the floor, I remember the floor was always so freezing.
Really cold.
If we were in cold climates.
Yeah.
In the morning, walking on the floor.
Yeah.
I had to have my slippers or something with me to put on my feet.
But again, overhead storage, side hanging storage, similar sort of layout to the newer vans. Again, plenty of storage in here. Our Sirocco fans got our downlights, which again, bit of that more of that older style, but again, got some nice downlights there.
Yep.
TV up here, tiny. This thing is tiny. We got the big 32-inch smart TV in our van now.
It looks like an iPad compared to
It does, but again, it does the job.
Yeah.
We've got some more storage up above here.
Little ones
All
up
that
there.
stuff. Older school blinds. I know it's kind of a couple of tears in that in there. But I reckon back then, we used to travel with them.
Yeah, we used to travel with these. We didn't know. We
used to travel with these things clipped up, which you're not meant to. So you can, but when you go off road and stuff, the new ones aren't. The new ones are pretty good. We've never had a drama with them, but older style blinds and that there. Again, which have come a long way. So I think having a big window each side as well. Our new van's got a smaller window because we've got the offset bed.
Yeah.
Really opens it up in here. So that's pretty much it around here. Again, just bring it back. I want to sleep in here tonight. It's making me.
You can. I'll sleep in my bed.
Alright, into the kitchen area here. So we still got our gas oven, gas stove under here. So this is one thing you are going to notice on the new vans is you got your lift up bench top rather than you've still got your lift up here into your gas stove. So don't quote me, but from memory, I think that in new regulations this is a problem now. Again, don't quote me, but I think that's the case of why you don't see that anymore. But again, do get quite a fair bit of bench space here. You can sort of see again, nice big sink in that here, but again, just that older style design up here. Got plenty of storage up here, all our cups and all that stuff up there. Older timber look. This was fashion back then. This is absolute fashion, but honestly, I still don't mind it. I still walk in here, and to me, it still looks nice. It still looks nice, really, really nice. So, LG, a little microwave there. Again, just all the luxuries that we still got. So your microwave, we covered the aircon. Over here, one thing is the old Kenwood, something you'd have in your Ford Falcon with your 12-inch subwoofer in the back. Your little Kenwood CD player radio there. We're gonna have a look at the battery system in a minute. This is our projector charger in here. So again, pretty old school when you compare this to like your Red Vision units these days. This is something that has battery systems and charging systems is something that's come a long way since then. So got a little isolator switch here. We're on 12 volt or 240 volt. Again, these days is something you don't have to worry about. So I looked at this before, I'm like, I forgot about that. You have to sort of switch it across when you go into the car or you're plugging into the caravan park or something like that. Again, this is where stuff that has really advanced. So cafe style lounge in here. Again, which we had this in our 17.6 Freelander. Gives you a lot of room under here. We actually got plenty of storage under there, so we got a lot of storage to hang out our shoes and all that stuff. Again, we had a generator that sat right here, fitted in there perfectly, had a towel over it. That's where we used to store the generator. Under here, we will give you a look under here. It's not the prettiest. This is my brother actually put these batteries in, so it's a pretty crappy job. But again, just shows how far this has come. So we've got 200 amp our AGM batteries in here from standard. I can't remember what these come with back in the day. Probably that, I would imagine. Maybe even 100 amp battery. Not too sure. But again, plenty of storage here. We've got two skylights up here. They're looking pretty shabby now, but two skylights again really opens it up in here. Old school stereo system. Again, still sounds great. Three-way fridge here. So obviously your gas, battery, 240. This is something you don't see much these days, and it's sort of going into the past. I do remember being up north, you have it on gas, and it just wouldn't cope. Like it's down south fine, but up there, I remember the whole time you're in there feeling. I was always feeling me meat when we were up north, and it was always feeling warm. So it was always something you're sort of having to worry about a bit out there. But again, no dramas for back then. Again, now compressor fridges these days are the go. So that's pretty much it for in here. Again, just nice and luxury in here. Obviously, there's no bunks in here, so 2 people van, absolutely awesome. Let's just quickly check out this bathroom. All right, quick look in the bathroom here. And one thing that I noticed is the Dometic toilets, they've really changed. Dometic kind of need to up their game. Not that I don't know how you make them or put LCD screen or something on the toilet. I don't know, but it's pretty much the same sort of toilet there. One thing, we got two fans up on the roof here. So we've got one here above the toilet, one there in the shower, your little hatches there, which is kind of cool. That is something you can option on your new vans and that, but we haven't really found the need for that on our new one. But this is really the same sort of layout as our new Trooper. So we've got our your 3 kilo wash machine under here. Again, which we used to even use that quite a fair bit at caravan parks and stuff back then. Don't have the water capacity in this one for that. And just again, it's crazy to see how much the basins and just the fittings and lights and all that stuff has sort of come over the years. But again, plenty of storage under here for all your toiletries and that. Nice big shower in there again. And just the basins and that, everything's sort of changed quite a fair bit from here. But again, the layout of this compared to our Trooper is really the same. So that's pretty much wraps up in here. Again, this is just a bit quick look through. Let's go outside and we'll wrap this thing up. well, there you go, guys. There's a little bit of a look through the OG Lotus Caravan. Again, just a bit of a trip down memory lane. It's so good to share this with you guys. Have a bit of a look through. Again, we'd love to hear from you guys. Has anyone out there following got one of these? Or
Yeah,
2012,
we'd love to know.
yeah,
Yes.
2012 Sprint, or even just, hey, just share what have you got, your on-road, your semi-off-road, fully off-road. Let us know what you got below, where you've taken the thing. We'd love to hear from it. So again, this has been fun. This has been cool. Again, it's been good going back through the archives, checking all this out. I reckon one day, just for a little bit of fun, we might take this thing on a bit of a trip, take it out of the bush or something, and just spend a night or two in it, just to relive those memories. So again, guys, I hope you enjoyed. As always, we'll see you guys out in the tracks.